Hey guys, it's Squall, and this is part 9 of Everlasting Summer. We're on day 4, and Homeboy just woke up, and Lex Luthor is staring at us rather creepily from the wall. But that's okay. Strange, where did it come from? Why is it standing near my bed? He's talking about his alarm clock, I think. It was 7:30, according to the clock. Olga Dmitrievna had already left, and there was nobody to force me to go to the lineup. Thus I can sleep a bit more. I closed my eyes, but seemed like my consciousness had already had its coffee and was ready for a long, productive day. I need to get up. I should plan my day out. After all, I need to at least find out something today. But still, nothing came to my head. Fine, I need to wake up completely and wash myself. I wonder if I need a different kind of pop filter, because this one isn't really working the way it should be. But anyways, on my way to the wash stands, I met Xenia. What got you up so early? Anything wrong with being up early? She looked at me as if I had insulted her. No, nothing, just curious. None of your business. Gosh, Xenia isn't very sympathetic even when she's in a good mood, but today she just looked furious. The cold water perked me up, the fog in my head dissipated, and my thoughts started arranging themselves. Curiously, I started to worry about finding a good place in the canteen more than about finding answers. I brushed my teeth and was going to leave when a quiet sound wafted past my ears. It's probably a squirrel or some other animal. I heard another sound, this time a bit farther. I walked 10 meters along the path, searching for the source. Nobody, just the morning forest. I returned to the wash stands and saw Miku, who was looking for something in the grass. Noticing me, she smiled and jumped up to me. Oh, hello, good morning. I accidentally scattered my tooth powder, just trying to gather it all back up. The dewy grass didn't seem to be helping matters. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, why? What else can I do? I don't have any more. It was the last I had. She pouted like a child who had just had her favorite toy taken from her. Here, I'll give you mine. I dug into my bag. No tooth powder here. There. Strange, didn't I just put it there? I walked away for just a minute and now it's gone. Listen, it looks like I've forgotten it. I didn't want to tell her that it had just gone missing. Knowing the sensitivity of this girl, it was safe to assume that vanishing household goods would impress her so much that her brain would reset itself in order to avoid overheating. Yeah, as opposed to you. You're so calm, right? Well, I'll be off. Yeah, cheers, visit me in the music club. I'm still alone there, but Miku's voice faded in the freshness of the summer morning far behind me. Semyon, you are way too rude to Miku. Getting back to the leader's cabin, I took my cell phone and looked at the battery meter. Enough power for a day, maybe even less. Of course, it won't help me much in here, but still. Finding a charger in the 80s would mean inventing it. I was going to head for breakfast when somebody knocked the door. I hope that means knocked on the door. It was Lena. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. I was taken aback a bit. The events of the previous day were still fresh in my memory, but I didn't really want to speak about them. You're probably looking for Olga Dmitrievna, aren't you? Well, no. Yes. Lena was her usual self, shy and easily embarrassed. That dance on the pier, now it seemed no more than a dream. She's not here. Sorry. Okay then. I'll go. Okay. When Lena left, I thought that I'd been too cold towards her, so I decided to be nicer in our next encounter. Still, regardless, the morning was shining and beautiful. The bright sun was shining over the space and time-displaced Pioneer Sovyonok. Pioneer Camp Sovyonok, warming its residents and filling them with energy to spend the day productively. Or in my case, to wasted and futile efforts to find an explanation for everything happening here. There was an unusually large crowd near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen, but why were they all crowding on the porch? I came closer to find out what was going on. It looked like all the camp had gathered at the porch. There were all the familiar girls, Olga Dmitrievna and Electronic. They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Semyon. Have you seen Shurk today? Nope. What's the matter? We haven't been able to find him since early morning. Morning. Disappearing pioneers? Well, that's something new. But was he with you yesterday? She was talking to Electronic. Yes, he was. So you woke up this morning and he wasn't anywhere to be found? No. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Well, I thought that he got up earlier and went to wash up or something. Did he mention anything yesterday? Interjected Slavia. For example? That he was going somewhere, for instance? Nope. What exactly is so horrifying about that? It's only 9 a.m. He may have decided to go for a walk. You don't know Shurk. She looked over at me seriously. Well, no, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in this situation. Are you kidding? Listen to that music. That is suspicious as heck. Okay, let's stop panicking. We'll find him. How could he miss breakfast? Uliana grinned. Exactly. Time to eat anyway. The pioneers proceeded into the canteen. Yet again, I had no choice where to fit in. The only free place was at the table with Elisa and Uliana. Take a seat. She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you gonna get your food? Good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appetizing. Maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid yet another Uliana prank. Wanna go to the beach with us today? When? Right after breakfast. Generally speaking, relaxation wasn't on my agenda today, but if I was going to spend my time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting a suntan? Sure, why not? Cool. She smiled nicely. I bet you're planning another prank. No, not at all. Uliana waved her hands at me. She sure is. Elisa grinned. She's always like that. No way. I think she's right. Nobody believes me. Uliana took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal, she said in such a way which left no doubt. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Elisa were left alone. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Why is that? Well, I've got something to do. And what exactly would that be? She looked in my eyes and I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a swimsuit. Try mine. You think it'll fit me? Give it a try. I don't think it's worth the effort. Don't be a wimp. We'll find you some swimming trunks. Those words only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting for her, is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, hurried past me one by one. No one stopped by me. No one even looked in my direction. It seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager their age, their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider this camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the first day. Indeed, Elisa was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Though you could hardly call them trunks. They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Actually, they were boxers. I'm almost afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Too scared to put them on? Well, you know, I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciated her joke, but wasn't going to make myself a laughingstock. Put them on, she said roughly. Why don't you try them on instead of me? I think that the color of this swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Let's make a bet. I had no desire to accept her bets. No thanks. Alright, you either go to the beach wearing them or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my cabin. Why would I do that? How should I know? She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Elisa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those my ear. But not in those flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel to hopefully find something like trunks. Olga Dmitrievna was waiting for me in the room. Semyon, did you hear anything about Shurik? Same as half an hour ago. I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yes, to the beach. Wait, do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Strange. That fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. No. So what will you wear? Good question. What? I don't know. Wait a minute. She walked to the wardrobe and unlocked the drawer. In a moment, she had a pair of normal black trunks. When did she get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session might have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga Dmitrievna's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I recognized only Elisa and Uliana. Come here. I walked over to them and sat on the sand. I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked. As you can see. Come on, let's swim. I don't want to. Maybe later. I was not a fan of swimming. Suit yourself. The girls ran into the water. Why did I come here? Why am I not out looking for answers? Should I care about it now? Sovyonok seemed normal. Certainly a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but none of them, taken separately, seemed at all supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as clues. On the contrary, everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I won't get any truth from the local residents. No, I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? But how far can I walk, considering that I don't even know where I am? That's a lot of clouds, man. It turns out that my only option is to wait. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, if I was dreaming at all, but I woke up when someone shook my shoulder. Olga Dmitrievna stood next to me. "Did you come to swim too?" I asked, still half asleep. "No. It's almost time for lunch and we still can't find Shirk," the leader said, standing before me in a wet swimsuit. "Hold up, so one of your students is, Pioneers is missing and you went swimming? You're a fantastic camp leader, I must say. And I want you to look for..." "Of course you do. I want you to look for him. It seems like I'm the only pioneer in this entire camp." I was sincerely outraged. Every time it was getting clearer that Olga Dmitrievna considered me her errand boy, to be used like a slave, or vice versa. "If I came to you, then I want you to help me." Why exactly me? However, after giving it some thought, I decided to agree. After all, my shoulders and back got sunburned while I was sleeping, and searching for Shirk would let me get acquainted with unexplored locations of the camp. Okay. It was not exactly right to wander around wearing only swimming trunks, so I should get changed first. 10 minutes later, I stood outside Olga Dmitrievna's cabin deciding where to go. Boathouse. Bus stop. The bus stop seemed to be a fine choice. A strange thought came across me. Perhaps Shirk is in the same situation as me, and so he decided to run away from this camp, maybe by the 410 bus. It could really turn out to be true if he came here by accident too, although the chances of that are quite slim. But you never know. What if the bus would really come? However, I could hardly believe that. Indeed, I spent a couple of minutes waiting at the bus stop, made sure there were no signs of Shirk or anyone else here, and headed back to the camp. Oh gosh! Somebody rushed out from behind the gates and bumped into me. The impact wasn't strong, so I just staggered. Miku stood in front of me and rubbed her bruised forehead. "Sorry." "It's alright, it's my fault. I was going to the music club but got lost and thought about our new song. Thinking up the lyrics and music, I had to realize how I got here. So you don't have to apologize." Her words per minute rate obviously exceeded the recognition limits of my brain. I made an attempt to retreat promptly. Sure, gotta go, Oh, wait! I wanted to leave as usual without having to listen to her, but Miku grabbed my hand. Her grasp gave me the creeps as I got a clear vision of an agonizing execution by another rap session. "Can you help me out a little, please? Just a teensy-weensy bit?" That definitely wasn't on my to-do list today. Well, I'd be glad to, but it's pretty please. Miku looked at me with such puppy dog eyes that my heart started to melt. She totally wasn't going to let go of my hand. And what help exactly do you need? "You'll accompany me. I can't manage to compose on my own. I can sing or play. I can't do both at the same time. Even our virtuoso has our weakness." "Well, I can't really play any instrument." "Never mind that. I'll show you everything. Come on, let's go." I really have no desire to. But whatever. On the other hand, I'm not losing anything. However, she dragged me along with her. Probably nothing good will come of this, but the only way to get her off me is to wrestle my hand out of hers. but that wouldn't be very nice. Nothing bad will happen after all. Probably. Famous last words. Within a minute, we were already standing in the music club. Miku took a guitar. Here, have a look. Aww. She sat down and started playing. I tried to follow her hands. The tune seemed quite simple. It seemed quite easy to repeat it. Got it? Kind of. Let's try. I took the guitar and started playing. That didn't really work out. Let me show you one more time. She played much better than me. Looking at Miku, I wondered. Of course she was a chatterbox. She was naive and clumsy. However, she was extremely talented in music. Try again. I managed much better the second time. Wow, that's much better. She smiled. It wasn't hard, in fact. Just repeat the same notes over and over. Just don't lose track. Start on my command. Okay? Ready? Go! It was a song in Japanese. Frankly speaking, I didn't understand a single word, but Miku's singing was quite good. In fact, it was outstanding. She put her heart in every note, every word. Yeah, music probably is the very thing for her to dedicate her life to. It seemed like it wasn't her who chose the music, but the music that has chosen her. The last half an hour presented Miku in a completely different light. Thank you. Did you like it? I finally managed it with you. On my own, it's not so good. I either mess up with the words or miss the strings, and it's just perfect with you. Thank you so much. You really have a talent, you know. Just to play like that without any preparation. Nope, it seems I changed my opinion about her too hastily. Thanks for the song. Gotta go. See you. Thanks for... Aww. Stop being rude to her. The rest of her words were left behind the door. I leaned on the wall of the club cabin and sighed. Miku's song was still playing in my mind. Should we go to the forest? Or the boathouse? We've already been to the forest in the previous episode, right? We haven't been to the boathouse in a while. Maybe Shurk decided to pick up stones near the water. In the worst case, I'll find his core. Whoa, dude. But I'm sure that it won't end up that way. I was crossing the square when somebody called out to me. Wait. Elisa came up and smiled. That's never good. I immediately sensed a trap. Where are you going? I'm searching for Shurk. Olga Dmitrievna asked me to. And how is it? Exciting? She looked intently into my eyes, and I turned away awkwardly. Not really. But you know, a pioneer is missing. Surely you're not freaking out over such a minor thing. What do you mean? Only a few hours have passed. Maybe you just lost track of time while having a walk. Certainly I'd had the same idea, but I wasn't telling her that. And that's true. But who knows what could have happened. Let me help you with it. With what? I got suspicious. With looking for Shurk. Oh, but I can do it. Oh, come on. She smiled at me, but there was something malevolent in that smile. Naturally, her smile was cute enough, but it really seemed to me like there was something behind it. Well, if you insist. Since I could not understand what's on her mind, I had no real reason to refuse. But before we go, I have to get one thing from home. Okay, I'll wait for you. You're actually serious about just standing there? Let's go! Okay. We approached Elisa's cabin. It would be just like all other cabins, if not for the Jolly Roger on the door. By the way, Liana's my roommate. Okay? Posters, messy beds. We entered the cabin. The complete chaos inside really reminded me of my old flat. That's why I thought of it as old. In general, I would imagine a girl's room differently. Snow white sheets, walls, floor, and ceiling shining, spotless. But when you consider that the two most exemplary pioneers are living here, we just stood silently for some time. And what did you need to get? Huh? Seems like I interrupted Elisa's thinking. Yeah, it's not here actually. Wait here, I'll be back in a minute. She smiled and ran out. She seems really flaky today. I began to examine the room. I wouldn't say that there had been an explosion, it was just a decent mess. Well, at least by looking at all this mess created in one pioneer session, I can surely say that I am not the messiest person in the world. The decoration of my apartment took years to be completed. I wasn't thinking about anything particular, I was just looking around the room. Posters of Soviet artists, some books on the shelves, various household items. And then I realized that everything is wrong. Something will happen soon. Something bad. Why did Elisa leave me here all alone? There was something I had to discover. And we're gonna go ahead and discover it in the next episode in part 10. Until next time, thank you.